Hello, welcome to Tarot with Tanya. 7 cards for 7 days, and we are beginning with the week of the 22nd. For this week, we start with the moon in Cancer, and that is its natural home, so a very good time to be home and to nurture yourself and others, do things around the home, things like that. And we end up with the moon in Virgo, another sign. They're both feminine signs, one water. And then when you get to the Virgo, it's the earth sign, and great for paying attention to small details, doing work, catching up on things that might be backlogged, that sort of thing. And otherwise, we have Jupiter now in Taurus, giving more energy to that, and we are shifting from Taurus sun sign to the time of Gemini here as well. So I was speaking with one of my beloveds this morning, and we had this wonderful conversation about the energy right now and how it seems to be very focused on breaking up the old foundations of our lives. You know, that sounds kind of scary when I say it, but I don't mean it like that at all. I'm talking about that internal stuff, the beliefs that we have, and so many of them are in the unconscious. And this is a time of bringing up as much as we can into consciousness, so then we can take conscious action. So we're freeing ourselves from those limiting beliefs about how the world functions, how we function in the world, who we are, what we are, and learning to handle our new light bodies. That's what many refer to these changes as producing. Of course, it's not a new body literally, but a new metaphysical body, because we are upping our understanding of these issues. So maybe you've experienced already this year some breaking up of some old limiting beliefs, and finding yourself perhaps at somewhat of a loss for what to put in its place. And I remember reading before, if something is done in love, it's a good thing. So, and you know, that means true love without condition, and you know, stepping forward in that kind of energy. So that could be a kind of guide. What feels right for you? You know, not about like instant gratification, but what really feels like the right steps forward for your life at this point. So that seems to be the theme in the cards too, this dispelling of the old and creation of the new. And we begin with that energy on Monday with the Page of Swords. And I am using the Morgan Greer deck today, and then we'll finish with an oracle card from the Winged Enchantment. So on our Monday, we get the Page of Swords. So you've got a kind of mental energy, and this is a fairly gentle mental energy to me. It is always news, pages, some decks, they're princesses, they have other titles, but essentially they're the first in the sequence of the royal cards, no matter which suit you're talking about. So a kind of a messenger energy, bringing something new, dispelling again an old mood, an old belief, cutting through that and seeing clearly for Monday. Tuesday, and it will still be the Cancer moon, so this fits very well with that, the Ace of Cups. Now we're moving into a water energy, a water element, the unconscious, dreams, emotions, the way that we respond to people's moods, our own moods, things like that. A great day for self-love. So when we can kind of cut through the miasma of on Monday and Tuesday, what is the self-love that we actually carry? Do we want to continue with what we have, or do we need to open ourselves up? And I think for most of us, there can always be more self-love. And I hope that doesn't sound self-centered to anyone, because it isn't. I mean, that again is our foundation for loving others, being a loving person. On Wednesday, we move into a different element. They're all covered this week, and we have the Knight of Rods, sometimes be called the Prince of Wands, if you're familiar with other tarot decks. And wands are that instinct that I'm going to take an action. Don't think about it. Just do it. And he has his wand, sort of looks like a club there, over his shoulder. So there's a peacefulness, I think, in that, a thoughtfulness about what's going to happen next. But he is ready to take some kind of action that, again, could come from the instincts for us this week. So that's our Wednesday. Thursday, we get the fourth element, and that is the disc. So we started with swords, we went to cups, and we went to wands, and now we're at discs, an earth energy, and here we have the 9. This is all about abundance. You can see she has her big disc necklace, and there are the fruits there, the vegetables, the bird of paradise on her shoulder. She's in a good place. So Thursday could feel like a day of maybe reaping some rewards or taking stock of what you have that is stable and solid for you. What have you gained? What feels like gain? When we get to Friday, it's really the only challenge card of the week, the 5 of Swords. So we have that sword energy represented again. This one, when I first saw this pop out today, it made me think about how we can look at things that don't work for us anymore. This card looks almost, I'll try to bring it a little closer so you can see that, hopefully. Sorry for the glare, but you got your central figure there, the main one. And then a few in the back, and one seems to be kneeling. It's almost like a prisoner situation. Of course, it's symbolic. So what are ideas that are holding us captive in some way, but aren't really beneficial? In the Thoth deck, this card is called Defeat. So there's that sense of something not working out. So let it go. I feel like that's, again, we're breaking up that old stuff. It's also a 5, so it's connected to the Hierophant. And the Hierophant is about the law, about higher learning, about wisdom traditions, and all of the 5s, the minors associated with it, all presents a challenge. So in this challenge, what is it that you just can let go of? And that could be people too. Are there certain energies you're around? I think we probably all have those people that it's just like, oh, okay, I feel like I should like this person. I do in a way, but also I feel drained or agitated, something not so good. So I think we need to be discerning on Friday, particularly about that. Or, all of these fit together. They may happen in different sequences for you too. Saturday, we get a major, and that is the Magician, the number 1 in the majors. So, you start with that Fool, the innocent, open to everything, doesn't have any experience yet. But then we come to the Magician, number 1. Magician has all the tools. and the magic. There is, it may not show up on here, but there is that figure 8 on its side over his head. So there's tremendous power and energy, and all of the elements are represented. You have a sword, a disc, a cup, and a wand here because he knows how to use them all. And he's also confident. He, she, they, it's all the same. It's just an energy, not a gender. It's an energy of being able to toss things up and have the confidence that they're going to come down in a new and more beneficial way. So, how can we create some magic in our lives after we've examined our old foundations and are working on building our new? Then we end the week next Sunday with the Death card. Now, the Death is also in the majors, and it is number 13 out of 21. Well, we end at 21. We actually begin at 0 and go to 21 generally. And so obviously it's not physical death, it is a metaphysical death, and that also fits with this idea, this theme this week of letting go of the old, breaking up the old foundation, and rebuilding for something that is better for where we are at this time and place. So, recapping again, some mental energy on Monday of clearing. Tuesday, an effort, a chance, a support for raising your vibration, really being in your heart energy, loving the self. Taking some kind of action on Wednesday with that Knight of Wands. Thursday, counting your blessings, what is working really well and beautifully in your life. Then Friday, that challenge of what do I need to release? What needs to go? What are limiting thoughts for me or people, situations? Then Saturday, the Magician, the magic, trusting, letting things be in a moment of chaos, knowing that, what comes will be better. And then really sealing the deal on Sunday by saying, all right, I'm in a major cycle of release so that I can rebirth. And, we do that over and over in our lives. Some of those we mark very clearly, in American culture. Obviously births and, different phases of school, graduations, coming of age, marriages, more births, anniversaries, obviously deaths. So we do it all the time. But some of these more metaphysical ones we let go by. So I feel like the universe is saying, hey, check into those too and honor those. And it will give you a greater sense of grounding and being within your own body, which is where we can get rid of the anxiety by being present within ourselves, in our physicality, in the moment too. So as always, beloveds, take what resonates for you and leave the rest behind. Keep developing your intuition. Maybe check, the cards. I write them down so that I can look at them through the week and see, oh yeah, today's, the 9 of Discs energy. How is that working for me today? Or how might I step into that a little bit more? I hope this helps you. I always do. That's the goal here, to support people with love and insight and hopefully some inspiration. So please consider liking and sharing and subscribing. And if you're interested in getting some support via a personal reading, my information will be below. Have a beautiful week.